roll. We should make a toast, girl. Make a toast, girl. Bottle, bottle.
Girl, honey, baby. Cause you know my skin be glowing and I be looking so luscious. I'm just kidding. What's up? As you can tell by the title, I am pregnant, and I'm gonna be telling you guys just a little bit like how I found out, what made me even think I was pregnant, what made me want to take a test, and basically just that whole genre of finding out you're pregnant. Right now I am 9 weeks pregnant, gonna be 10 in like 2 days or something like that. This is so weird because I've been watching so many like YouTube channels, like other girls that have told their story about like them finding out they're pregnant, and like I wish I would have recorded my reaction to it, but it was just so like in the moment to where like I wasn't even thinking about YouTube. I wasn't thinking like, oh my god, let me post this for my people, like my 30 people that I have on my channel, you know, like I wasn't thinking about that. I was just, let me take this test and figure out what the hell's going on with my body, you know. But if you guys can wonder what I'm looking at, I'm babysitting this baby, and he's so cute. He's so cute. And his smile with his little dimples, like, okay, so I don't remember like the day I found out, and I wish I remembered like the date, but when I found out I was 4 weeks pregnant, and the weekend before I found out I was in LA with my boyfriend, and we were linking up with his closest friend Keo, because I think I was already like 2 days late the weekend we went to LA. Like I was only 2 days late, and I was like, well, my period has been late before, like I have a really irregular period, so like it wasn't anything new to me to have my period be late. But to me, I was like, I do not feel right about this. Like I don't feel right, like in my, like deep in my stomach and my guts, like I knew, oh crap girl, you're pregnant. But like I was really trying to tell myself like, no, like it's gonna come, like I swear it's gonna come, just give it a couple more days, like it's gonna come. And my boyfriend, he was like, you're probably pregnant. Like he knew I was pregnant, and I didn't want to believe him. I was like, okay babe, like I'll make a bet, like $2. I'll bet you $2 that it's gonna come. And every day like it never came, and by the time I took the test I was 4 days late. I'm pretty sure I was like 4 days late. I can't remember. I wish I had like all the calculations down and everything, but you know, it's okay. So it was Sunday, I remember, and I was like, it was after church, and I was sitting on the couch and my boyfriend was there, we're watching TV, and I was just super tired, like really drained out for no reason, like just really exhausted. And I remember like my stomach was bothering me, like I just didn't feel right, you know, like I felt really sick. And so I went to lay on the floor. I ended up going on the floor and falling asleep for hours. Like I was knocked out. And I just remember waking up, like I was like, if I go to sleep right now, I'm gonna wake up and my period's gonna come. Like I know, like it's gonna come, like I feel it, it's gonna come. So I forced myself to go to sleep. By the time I woke up, I like looked at my boyfriend and I went to the bathroom after I woke up, and then I went back into the living room, and I was like, it didn't come. I was like really sad. I was like, I was really hoping like I would wake up and it would have come. And he was like, I know. And so I remember we just talked about it, and I was like, no, it's gonna come, like just give it a, like he was like, we should take a test now, and I was like, just give it till tomorrow. So the next day, I think it was Monday, yeah, it was a Monday, I remember, because I had praise and worship practice. My boyfriend didn't have work. I don't know why, but he didn't have work. And so I remember he came over to my house and he brought me the pregnancy test, but he had to leave. I don't know where he went. I don't remember. I think he like had an appointment for college. He went to his college, I think, or something. I don't know. Let me stop acting like I know. So yeah, he came, dropped him off. He dropped off too, and he went to the dollar store to get them, because I was like, you're not gonna go get some freaking $12 pregnancy test and it's gonna come out negative. I was telling him, I was like, I'm gonna take it, it's gonna be negative, and it's gonna be slap in your face, like I told you I wasn't pregnant. And so I was like, just go get a regular Dollar Tree one, get at least 2. I'm telling him, I was like, I'm gonna take one right now, today. It's gonna be negative, and then I'll take the other one in the morning, and just to prove like I'm not pregnant. So he left. I went into the bathroom. Oh my god. Okay, so I got a cup, like a little like the tiny beer pong cups. I got them, it was a plastic one. And I came back in my room and I opened up the first one, and it had like the little like squeeze for the droplets or whatever. I used that. Okay, so I put the drops in, and literally within like seconds, like usually you have to wait like a few minutes, like right when like I was done putting the drops in, it came up positive. But like there's 2 lines. One of the lines was dark and the other one was like there. It was still kind of faint, but it was very like noticeable. And like my heart dropped. I remember like my heart dropped, and I was like, oh my god. And so I was like shaking. Like once I seen like my test, I was like, oh my god, like it came up right away. And so I took the other one, I put the other like drops on the second one, and it came up positive right away. I think I'm gonna show you guys. But like I was like tripping. Like right when the second one came out, white. I feel like I talk like a little kid sometimes. Right when the second one came out, like I started crying, like bawling. Like I was like, nobody was home. My dad was gone. My mom was in LA at a funeral. She was doing a funeral for somebody that had asked her. And yeah, so nobody was home except for my boyfriend's mom, because she lives with us. And I was like, what the heck am I gonna do? Like I was like crying. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like I'm pregnant. And like, yeah, okay, so here is, I took 2 of them, and as you can see, bitch. Okay, so yeah, okay, so where was I took the second one right when I seen the positive test, like that it was positive. I started crying, like I broke out crying, and I was just like holding my like face, and don't bother about my nails, I need to go get them done. But I was like holding my face, and I was like, oh my god. And I sent a picture. I wish like I would have like told him like in person, like been like, okay babe, like it came out. Like I wish I would have like got his reaction, or I would have told him in person. But I was just like completely shocked, because I really thought that my period was gonna come. And so I took a picture of it and I sent it to him, and all he said, he was like, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, like, oh crap, like what the heck. And I couldn't stop crying. Like I could tell like I need somebody to like hold me right now, because I was just crying, like really, like I was really emotional. And so I knocked on his mom's door. And when I knocked on her door, she was like, yeah, come in. She came out her bathroom, and she was like, what's going on? And right when she asked like what's wrong, like what's going on, I was like, I just took a pregnancy test and I'm pregnant. And like she held me, and like I just cried. And she was like, oh, she was like, it's gonna be okay. She was praying over me. She was like asking for peace of mind and all this stuff, like just praying over me. And I heard her, she was like crying a little bit too. Like she was obviously crying, because my boyfriend is her only child, and so you know, like that's her baby. And yeah, so it was just really emotional. And that same day I told my dad. Like he came home, and I think I went to get groceries or something. So I was sitting on the couch, and he was in the I was sitting on the couch in the living room, and he was in the kitchen putting stuff away. And I just did not feel right. Like I am really close with my dad. Like if the people on here that are watching this know me, like know me, I am a daddy's girl. Like I love my dad, and I don't really like keeping crap from him. I don't like disappointing him, and this was just something I needed my dad for, you know. And so I had my binder, because I was writing down new things that I wanted to do for the YouTube, like new videos. And I was like, oh my god, like my heart was thumping hella fast, and I was just thinking like, I'm gonna tell him right now, like I'm gonna tell him. And so I got up, and I was like, I said it like this fast. I was like, Dad, I need to tell you something. I took a pregnancy test today and I'm pregnant. Like, I said it super fast. I did not leave no room for him to like look at me, like for me to breathe. Like, I was like, I took a pregnancy test today and I'm pregnant. And all he said, and it's funny, like the two men in my life, like he was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. He was like, that's crazy. Like, he said it multiple times. And obviously he was disappointed, but like I was thinking he was gonna like take my head off, because my dad is a pastor, and obviously I'm a pastor's kid. I've been since it's been what, oh my god, how many years has it been? Like 9 or like 7 years, 7 or 9 years that I've been a pastor's kid, that my dad has been a pastor. And I've always gotten crap for things that I've done, because you know, like I was still growing up. I was still a teenager. I was still in the world, you know, like making decisions that I was making, and they would reflect badly on my dad. And so yeah, like I was just expecting him to like be very upset. But keep in mind, all of my siblings have at 18 or 19 have had their kids, like got pregnant. So it's not anything new. It's not like I was the first child out of 6 to be 18 and be pregnant, you know. So I think thank God to them for setting the table for me so I didn't get my ass beat at 18. So yeah, he just talked to me. He asked what he could do to help me, like what I needed from him. And I was like, I just need a hug. Like, I just need to make sure like you still love me. And he gave me a hug, and he was like, I'm gonna be here. He was like, I tried, like I told you year after, like time after time throughout the years, like this, if you do this, this is where you're gonna end up. If you do this, like there's just no way to outsmart the system, you know. And so yeah, I told my dad. That conversation was over with. He gave me the advice that he gave me, and then I called my mom. And I told her. My mom was really butthurt. Like, she was like, she already knew. Like, my mom and my boyfriend's mom were like, oh, I already knew. Like, I already knew. God told me. Like, I already knew. And I was just waiting for you to tell me. And I was like, how come you didn't tell me? Like, you could have saved me the trouble. Hold on. I told my boyfriend's mom before I told her. And she was like, wow. She was like, I'm gonna have to act like, you know, like, like that's nothing. But obviously, like, she wanted to be the first one to know, or at least know before her. But I was like, no, Mom, like I needed to tell somebody. Like I needed that support, you know, because nobody else was home. Like, what the heck, I'm gonna just keep this information to myself? So I told the most important people that I needed to know, like right away. I ended up telling my siblings, I think the day after, and then told other important people like a couple days after that. But that's pretty much how I told everybody. Most of the people I told through text, and I told my grandma through phone call, and I told my other grandma through in person. And everyone was really supportive. Nobody was like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe it, like what the heck. But again, I'm not the first one in my family to have this happen at this time of my life, you know. So everybody was really supportive, very prepared to handle this type of situation. And honestly, that's the best thing to have in these type of situations. I am very excited, like super excited. I've always wanted to have a little baby. Obviously not at this time, because I was just barely getting started with my YouTube, and my boyfriend was gonna go back to college and do all of that, and this kind of blew up in our face. But we're gonna make it work regardless, you know. I heard the baby's heartbeat, like I literally started crying. I just looked at my boyfriend and I just started like crying, like obviously not like weeping, but like tears were coming down my face. And because it's like, yeah, okay, I have a baby in me, but once you hear the heartbeat, especially for the first time, like that's like, oh crap, I have like life in me. Like I have a living baby, like oh my god. So I'm not even gonna show you because they're not even that good. But that is the whole story of how I found out I was pregnant, how I went about telling people. Yeah, like I'm excited. I'm gonna have a little me. I want to have a girl, and that's very like because all my siblings have boys except for my sister Jennifer, which is my half sister, and she has a girl. And she's the only one who has a girl. Everyone else has boys, and so they're like, nah, you're gonna have a boy. You're gonna have a boy. Termins have boys. And so it's like, but I want a girl. Like, I really, really want a girl. But I'll be happy as hell if I have a boy anyways, like, because that's what I wanted at first. So regardless, whatever I have, I'm gonna be happy, and I really want a girl. That's pretty much all about for this video. I just wanted to like tell my story, I guess, because watching other people, like, I was like, oh my god, like, that would be interesting to tell my side of the story, you know, from me and like my life and how it went about. And because I know some of y'all nosy, and that's okay because I be nosy too. Everybody gotta knows, everybody be nosy. It's okay. But yeah, but that's it for this video. Just make sure you give it a thumbs up if you like it. I could use it. Subscribe. Obviously I'm gonna be posting a lot more, so turn on your post notifications, and that's it. Thank you for watching.